Would you look at what we got ourselves here? We got a leak. It's coming right out of this pot somewhere down in the hole. And you can actually kind of hear it too. I don't know why you can hear it on camera, but we're now currently watering 2 fields right now. All this water from this section is being shoved into that section over there. We're wanting to water some cotton over there, and we were hoping to get to finish watering those fields before turning everything off. But if this gets any worse, then we're gonna have to fix it sooner. My cousin is already on his way with the backhoe, so if it all of a sudden does get worse, we'll have to turn off every single well, all the pivots, and then quickly fix this leak before it gets way out of hand. You can see that it's been kind of going along the field here down the rows between the peanuts. At least the peanuts are getting water though, but probably getting a little bit too much water. But we'll keep an eye on this, see how bad it gets. Hopefully it doesn't get worse than this, and we'll fix it soon. But on a different note, we got some really good looking peanuts here. They're getting pretty big. They're about the size of my hand now already. It's a good 8 inches. Every now and then they might be close to a feet or to a foot. Got some good flowers already. They're starting to bloom. That's a good sign. These peanuts are looking really healthy and they look really good. And this cotton right on the other half here, I'd say it also looks really good. It also looks really good. They're getting pretty tall as well. Getting some good leaves. They could use some more moisture, as everything else could. The ground around here is getting very dry. We haven't had a rain for quite some time now. But as for lack of moisture in the air, this cotton is actually looking really good. We have a few skips here and there every now and then, but that's normal. Other than that, these cotton are not half bad. This is the, what is it? Yes, this, if I'm not wrong, this is the Stoneville 5777, was it, that we planted here? But this is one of the Stoneville varieties that we planted, and it's looking really good. And now we gotta quickly go fix the well. And I won't bore you with it. Y'all seen us pull wells before, so I'll see y'all later, and if we're gonna do some other things besides pulling wells. I don't know what else we're gonna do today. It's already 3:30 and it's like 100 million degrees outside. It's hot here in Texas, dry and hot. So see y'all after we pull out the well. Who knows what else we'll do. And this well is fixed. It's another 3-horse pumping into the pivot. It's a small little itty bitty one, but yeah, with that little one, it pretty much gives the pivot enough pressure to have enough water all the way to the end. So that well was much needed, but now this pivot has water all along again. Ready to fix another leak? It got way too bad. It started leaking a lot. Now there's a big puddle on our field, so we have to quickly fix it now so we can continue watering. I just closed the valve right there and turned off all the wells that are connected to this pivot. So now the normal water should be flowing through here, so we're gonna dig it open and see what's underneath there. So we are just going to fix this tomorrow. It's pretty late already. Let me climb down in here. It's all sloppy. What we got here, this pot right here on the bottom where there's a cap welded on, that weld feels like it is, I guess, rusted through and it's leaking. And so what the plan is tomorrow anyway, is to just chop this off here, chop that pipe off right there, put a new pot here, weld it all together, connect that, all the good stuff, and then we'll have a new pot here for like another 20-30 years maybe. But we do have one small hole that we probably would have patched, but the new pot will do the trick. Making our new pot ready. We had an extra one laying here, so now we're just putting a 6-inch pipe right here on top, and that's going to connect to the pipe in the ground on the bottom, and then later whenever we put it in the ground, then we're going to torch the hole on the top to connect the pipe on the top. So we're going to connect this and then bring it to the pivot. Dang, that's a very pretty weld. Looks really good. Got this pipe cut off right now. Just cutting off that top pipe. Got a chain on the backhoe holding this pot. I'm gonna hold. Do what? Oh, you want me to dip to the backhoe? Well, I don't want it to hit this pipe over here. I don't want it to break it. Can you hold the pot then? Let's get out of here.
Just have to put back up with the backhoe.
Covering it up now. Also packing up all the dirt around the pot right here to where it stays firm. It's good. And we also got this pipe centered with that one, so we can weld it on and connect this pipe here. The rest we'll probably do with the shovel over here because there's wires and stuff here, so gonna cover up the rest of it. Got the hole cut out now. Got ourselves this dresser here. Pretty much just a metal sleeve with 2 rubbers on each end. And then these, they hold it together to where it can't leak water out of there. So we got this pipe now, we're gonna put that in there, weld that on, and put this dresser on there, and it should all be sealed and ready to turn on the welds again. And it's all done. Leveled everything out. Even put 2 chains on here just to keep it tight. If all of a sudden there's a lot of pressure, it can come apart if there's not chains on there. Got that, got some an air vent on here, and also a pressure gauge to where we can see how much pounds of pressure there is in the line. And it's all done. I even put some dirt over here on this end. Some coyote or prairie dog or some big gopher or something dug a big hole there, so I put a lot of dirt there too. But other than that, it's looking good. Ready to turn on the wells again. We had 70 pounds at that pivot because we were pushing a lot of water from there to that section, because we had to shut off all this to where we could fix this. But now that this is fixed, I already closed that valve right there. We can now turn on these wells again, turn off those wells over there, just so that there's not as much pressure down there. And then you can also close the valve in between the pivots, but I believe we're not going to close it because having at least 1 or 2 wells running from that section helps, but then there's not 70 pounds or there's 60 pounds. Don't ask me how that works, it just does. There's just not as much water pushing from that field this way, because those wells have to go all the way around to that field and then back to this field and then here to the center where it tees off and heads to that section over there. So we're gonna go turn on some wells again and switch it over. And I open this valve back up. I was gonna say we don't have any leaks, but we do have a very small little one. Right here where we put the chain on. I guess maybe got a little too hot. There's a tiny little bitty hole where it's spraying out of. It's kind of like melted through a little bit, but that's so small. We're just gonna leave it alone. We're hoping that it'll close itself over time. Maybe a little bit of rust will get over it and it'll close by itself. So we're not too worried about it. If it all of a sudden keeps spraying out of there, we'll come and weld it shut. But as for now, we're good. And we have 30 pounds of pressure. It's hot. I like it. My brother just barely finished turning on, I believe, those 3 wells. There's 3 wells there. Now he just barely turned on that well right there yet. And then I'm gonna go turn on one more well over there and we should be good. And we're done fixing that leak. Here shortly we're gonna check up on it again just to make sure everything's still good. But as for now, I got the poly rig behind me. We have one well right here that needs to be fixed. I believe there is a 3-horse in this one, and it does have poly in there. It has the top of it is metal, but everything down there is all poly. So we're gonna quickly fix this well and then go check up on our leak that we fixed, see if everything's still good. And another one. So I didn't film yesterday yet, but I'm here the next day. It's around lunch. We just finished putting in that well that we started yesterday. And I'm just here gonna look at this leak now, and as you can tell, it's very minimal. So looks like it is slowly closing itself. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Everything else still checks out fine. I guess this has been leaking a little bit, not much. So there's just a little bit of water on top of here. But that's nothing to worry about. Everything else is fine. No leaks underground. Looks like we did everything right. And everything checks out fine. And today we're actually doing a little bit more spraying. My brother's right over there with the sprayer. We're spraying all of our peanut acres again. We have a few weeds that we need to get rid of. And we were wondering what we should spray, or if we should hire a crew to hoe out all of our weeds. But we found a chemical that should do the trick for us. So we're gonna get rid of all the weeds. This field doesn't have that many fields that you can tell right here, but it's more so just very spotty. There'll be spots on the field where there'll be like a nice big pile of like 50 weeds, and then they'll be scattered all over the place, who knows where. So this should take care of it. We're gonna spray all of our peanut fields with it. We should have clean fields here before you know it. And I don't think we should spray again after this. I think this should be the last time we're gonna spray our peanut fields. So yeah, that's what we've been up to. You know, we don't do this often, but when it does, probably can't tell, but it's raining. Or should I say sprinkling. You can see the water, but it's not doing a lot, but we're gonna take a little break just because of sprinkling. Well, it sprinkled for like 10 minutes. It took a good, nice little break, but we fixed it. It's working again. We have it screwed off to 40 pounds, and we're gonna call it a day. So thanks for watching, guys.